Hey, welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Bill here. Hope you're having a great day. Today we're going to be discussing the Safariland IncogX. This holster is a gun-only holster or a sidecar holster. As you can see in the configuration that I have, I've been using it as a sidecar holster. Now I have about 5 range trips through this holster, carrying gun only. I don't carry, or when I CCW, it is with a light because I get off in the evening and it's dark. So I like to have a light. Well, at the time that I purchased this holster, they did not have the Glock X300 combo. So I got gun only. And so therefore I don't have experience carrying this concealed, which is why I don't have a wedge on the back. But I do have a good bit of experience with this, which is what the first part of this video is going to be. If you don't want to see me giving my thoughts while I'm shooting it, go ahead and jump to minute 14.
So we got 2 targets already zeroed. I'm running a Glock 17 with the RMR. I put the RMR back on because the brightness of the 508T. So I zeroed just to make sure it was good. That's the cool thing about this RMR. When I've taken it off and putting it on another gun, I will re-zero, and I mean it's always right on. So I shot at 7 yards and hit three shots right on top of each other, like stacked them. I didn't keyhole them, but it was close enough where I felt comfortable shooting at ASO from 7 yards. So we're gonna go ahead and just do a little quick dry fire, and then we are going to go ahead and shoot. I'm going to do a couple draw and shoot 2, and then I'm going to do some transitions, and then I'm going to do some reloads and just see how it feels, see how it feels coming out, going in, how fast it is, how consistent it is. If I were going to conceal carry with this, and you know, if I like it, I might, then I would put a wedge on it. However, I get a better grip coming out of the holster. I get my hand around it a lot better. My palm on the back strap where I want it more consistently, still giving myself enough support hand when I don't have a wedge on. When I have a wedge on, because it pushes the frame of the gun into me, when I go on, my hand is usually further around and not far enough into my hand. So I actually prefer to carry without a wedge, but of course when you are carrying a full size, you need a wedge to keep it concealed, to keep it good and concealed. And so that's why if I do conceal carry, I usually put a wedge on. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Just draw and shoot 2s. It was a 169, first shot 146. It is 32 degrees outside, so I'm not, again, I'm warming up, but I ain't gonna be blazing today. All right, so that's my first fumble, and that was because the gun, when I went to draw, I got a lot of belt. So we're gonna try that again. I adjusted the clips and claw so that it is a good. I like when I'm shooting, make sure this is picking me up, I like a full purchasing grip right here, and so I want the frame of the gun to be parallel to the belt. When I come down and claw grip, I want to be able to get all of these fingers underneath the frame. If the frame is really close to the belt, I'll grab the belt so these fingers will hit the belt, or maybe I don't get a good purchase on the frame. So those are all things that I am figuring out. Now we'll take a deep dive to the holster and we'll see if it's adjustable, and so that's something you can adjust. You would want to bring the clips down on the holster, so bring them down to bring the gun up more if you need more room. But so far this one isn't bad. I just didn't get a good one on that one. I'm trying to get used to a few things. Number 1, this holster. Number 2, the red dot. That was a 125. I don't know if I jumped. I don't think I jumped, but that was a tenth faster than the last one. Here we go again. That was a 148 for 2 shots. Good all A-zone hits. And that was a 125 again and a 149, so I guess it's a consistent. Now that was a little to the right of the A-zone, still pretty good hits. I am looking, that was a 121, so yeah, I'm getting consistent 1-2. And another good, I think I might have had one low left, and the first shot was a little low left, but I think it was in the A-zone. So that was a 121. All right, couple more, and then we're moving on. Just perfectly A-zone hit. I don't mind this RMR. I love that it gets brighter than that 508T. I do prefer the 508T, but my 508T, the brightness is just not enough for a sunny day like this. Like, I would be struggling. It would be washed out on its brightest setting. But I have one of the older ones, the newer 50 or 407, 507 C's get plenty bright enough, but this one, for whatever reason, because it's one of the older models, I really think it was the first model they came out with, just doesn't do it. So I had to switch back to the RMR. All right, we're going to go ahead and start doing some transitions. We're going to be doing 2 transitions. Coming back here at 8. Get behind I said 8, coming back at 7 yards, getting behind the sun. I'm going to go to the right, to the one on the left, and then transition right. And here we go. My good times for this, believe it or not, with it being cold, a little over 2, but I'm always shooting for a 2. Beep caught me by surprise. So that was a 131 first shot, 0.2 splits, and then it was a 207. I do believe everything was good on my second target. I can't tell, but I do have A-zone hits here. So 2 A's on the first one, and I can't tell on the second one. And going again. Nope, I hit him on the shoulder on my first transition shot over, and I'm just calling my shots essentially because I have no clue what is going on my target on the right, because there's so many AR hits plus my 9mm hits, and it's to the sun is dropped onto it. I've got some of it pasted up, but I have no clue. I'm just calling my shots based on where my first shot was, and I know it was right of the A zone, so C, I believe, might have been a D. And my first 2 shots on the left one were C and C, just outside of the A zone. So that was a 201. First shot was a 125. So going again. Back grip. That's the second back grip, which is not bad, and that wasn't the holster's fault. I just didn't get my hand far enough. I've got multiple layers, and so when I'm drawing and going here, sometimes I'm trying not to do a lot of movement, but sometimes I just got down on the frame, or high up on the frame, on the bottom of the frame. So I didn't like it. I could have pulled the trigger, but I just said no. Here we go again. That was easy. 208. So a 129 first shot, but those are both, all 4 of those are A's. All right, good enough. Let's go ahead and start doing some reloads. All right, guys, so reload time. So far, I actually really like this holster. I had 1 holster-related bobble, fixed my pants, and I've not had another holster-related bobble. I had 1 pretty poor index, we'll say, on the frame. Other than that, I like the holster, I really do. And if I liked it enough that I continue to carry it, I will switch out the grips. Also, we will take a really good look down below, a nice tabletop view of the holster, and look at it that way. However, so far so good. Really liking what I see. I think that the holster is nice. I enjoy it. It's got really good click retention, even with the Radian Ramjet Afterburner on it. With the 17, I'm not feeling any heat, even without a wedge on. So I know it is poking out a little, but as far as affecting me, probably helps that it's 32 degrees outside. But so far so good. I'm enjoying this holster. We're gonna go ahead and do some reloads, and then take a tabletop view. Stay tuned. That was a 4.52, and that's about right for me. A 4.5, sub 5 is always good for a 2 reload 2. I know that's not blazing fast, but for me, especially when it's 32 degrees out, my reload on that, let's see what the reload was a 2.93, so that actually was slow. Again, I've got multiple layers on, but I'm always shooting for a 2.5. So I say slow, not, half a second off or around there. But again, when I go to reload, I'm not getting my finger high enough. So I would automatically think about pulling that side up, getting the clips, pulling the clips down. So we'll take a tabletop look at that and see if it's even adjustable. Here we go again. I did not, when I went to, see what that one was, a 5.07, yeah, so even slower. But that was because after I reloaded, I brought the gun back to get back on target, and the dot was not there. So it took me another couple tenths to acquire the dot. So I wouldn't call that the holster's fault. Here we go. Trigger freeze. That was a 4.84. So right in line with what we've been doing. And once again, not the holster's fault. Second shot for me was a trigger freeze. I'm warming my hands up before I go again. Man, it's cold. It's funny, I say 32 degrees, which, technically I do believe is freezing. 32 degrees in Georgia is cold, but it is. Sun feels good though. And it is warming up. It'll actually hit 50-something degrees today, so. All right, boys, here we go. At it again. Thought I heard that. I got to turn my volume up. This is, I just can't hear it. All A's. And a 4.85 or 4.58. That's more like it. That's where I want to be. Is in the 4.5s. So let's do one more. I've already done a bunch of reloads with this gun. So I'm really just doing them. I enough that I can talk about it. I'm just wanting to get it on camera for you guys to see. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and do one more, and then go ahead and take it to the tabletop. I was a 4.64, so not far off from where I want to be. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Let's go ahead and take a little closer look down at the holster. Here is the IncogX. This one is for the Glock 19, Glock 17, as it says right here. And I'm going to quickly go over the things that I really, really like, as well as the things that I don't like. I saw this holster at my local gun store. Georgia Fireline is my favorite local gun shop. And I thought, okay, well, if they're selling these at gun stores like this, then maybe they are a good option for people who are interested in a sidecar. Now, the things I like about it. Number one, it doesn't have to be a sidecar. modular, if you will. You can use it as the gun only, or you can run it with a spare mag. All you're going to do is take this spare mag. Let's see if we can see it. Yeah. So it just, as you can see, 2 clips right here. You just, undo the screws and take the sidecar piece off, and then put the clips back on. So that's the first really, neat thing about it, is that for $97 you can have the holster. For, I think it was $127, you can have holster and spare mag is the sidecar piece. It's got really good click retention. So here it is with the Glock 19 with the AIM surplus JTT, just the tip barrel. And it's got a very good click retention. And that's important for me because even with my Malice Soul, when I'm inserting it, if I'm not sure if it went all the way in, I don't want even just a little bit of that trigger guard hanging out. So here, when I can hear it and feel it with that retention, I know that it's fully seated and I don't have to go back and push again. A lot of times I will think that I've seated it fully, but I'm not really sure. So even after letting go, I'll go back and then push a little bit more. You're not going to have that issue with this. Also with this holster, it is very fast out of the holster. As you saw in the video footage, if you saw me shooting, and if you guys like me shooting, I've got a new camera with a lapel mic. So I was kind of trying it out for the first time, and there was a lot of stuff that I cut out. But if you enjoyed me talking while shooting, let me know in the comments and I'll do more of that in my videos. But it was just something I was trying out. But if you watched that footage, you saw that I was very quick, enjoying, had no issues coming out of the holster, very quick, very smooth draws. And of course, that's important if you're going to be carrying this concealed, because you want, especially with an appendix setup, you want something fast out of the holster. So that was very, very quick, very, very smooth out of the holster, very smooth. And then of course you've got that click retention reholstering. Something that I like about this holster is this suede right here. So they've got a suede backing, feels very good against the skin. And it goes with the holster and with the spare mag caddy. So very comfortable, very smooth. Also, this holster conceals very well. So you've got your 2 plastic clips. You've got your wing here. It came with an additional wing in the holster, in the box. It came with an additional, like a bigger one. I'm not sure if this one pops on and off. I assume that it does pop on and off, but there was a thicker one, so I've not messed with it. This one was good enough for me, and it does conceal very, very well. Also, these clips do adjust. Not sure how well this coming through, but you can see that I've got it all the way up. You can push this all the way down, and then you can adjust this one. All right, so there is some adjustability there with the plastic clips. And of course, like I was saying earlier, if you want to carry gun only, you can take the spare mag caddy off. So it is a sidecar holster, but you can buy it or wear it without the spare mag caddy. All right, so those are all positives, things that I really like about this holster. Now, there are some dislikes. Number one, these clips are plastic. You can change this one out. And also, before I get into that, this, as I was having issues when I was drawing my spare mag, it was too low. So you can pull this up. You can move this up. You see there's extra levels here. I'm not sure how much that's going to affect the clips. I assume that also you would have to go up with the clips as well. So I might play around with that and see. Back to the plastic clips. I personally don't like plastic clips. I've seen them fail in classes. I've seen them fail, day-to-day use. So if I were using plastic clips, I would switch them out like I switch out my optic batteries about every 6 months. So that's what I personally do. Or what I also personally do is just use DCC clips, the discrete carry concept clips. I like the Mod 4 1.5 inch universals. All right, so that's what I prefer for my DCC clips. Well, you can put a DCC clip on this one, but you cannot put one on this one because, as you can see, this is all one piece. So you would have to buy a DCC clip, and you would have to buy another, just a universal wing
attachment to go along with that. So, and I've not tried that, but if I were going to carry this, that's exactly what I would do. I would just go on Amazon, get like a universal wing, and then I would get my DCC clips from the discrete carry concept clips. All right, so that's what I would do if I were going to carry this every day. Also, as much as this suede feels really good, I'm not sure if that's going to, if you can adhere, if you want to put a Velcro adhesive to put on a Cloudster pillow or a Mastermind Tactics pillow wedge, you need that Velcro piece to go on there. I'm not sure. Maybe it adheres to it very well, but maybe it doesn't. I'm not sure about that. So that's something, if I try that out, I'll get back with you guys and let you know how well it holds a wedge. And then last but not least, the thing that I don't care too much about this holster is that they don't have a lot of different gun models. There is no Walther models. They do have a ton of Glock options, but when I was at the time that I bought this holster, they did not have the X300 option. So I wasn't even interested in it because I couldn't get it for a Glock and an X300. They do make that now. If you go onto their website, you can find that. But if I wanted to get an M&P 2.0 with an X300, they don't have that option. They do have a lot of different lights, but I couldn't find the TLR1 option for the M&P. I couldn't find the X300. They had 0 Walther guns models available. So it's a very limited holster, very limited holster. The holster has limited manufacturing gun options for it. I don't know, I can't talk. Please excuse me. So depending on what you carry, they might or might not have an option for it. I'm going to go ahead and put this Glock 17 in there. Now this one usually would sit flush, but I do have the Radian Ramjet on there, so it is going to go a little bit past that, which was fine. This was where I was shooting in the video, and I had 0 issues shooting it. All right, so assuming that they have this holster for the gun that you want to carry it in, if you need something right now, this is a good option. If you can order something and you don't mind waiting between 10 and 20 business days, I would go the tier 1 concealed route. I just prefer them because they have a much bigger selection as far as gun makes and the guns and the gun plus light options. So that to me is a better option. But if they have this holster at your local gun store and they have it in the gun that you carry and you want something right now, this is a very good option. Guys, I appreciate y'all watching. If you made it this far, please like the video. If you have any questions that I did not address in the video, leave them for me in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.